All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm here today with Christina Klein, one of our art teachers, and we're doing a little quick demonstration on how TechSmith Relay can work for us here at Amherst Central Schools. So the domain we all have to start at is our amherstschools.techsmithrelay.com, and then we sign in. Now we already have established accounts, so ignore what's on the left side here. We're only using what's on the right side. Sign in with our Google accounts. And the reason why is it has to see that you're coming from an email domain that ends in @amherstschools.org or at students.amherstschools.org. Because what I'm going to show you today works for both us, the teachers, and also the kids from home or school computers and mobile devices too. So it's very versatile. So the one I'm using is my Amherst Schools account. If it doesn't take me in, it'll ask me to put in my password. So it's just like signing into your email. And the reason for that is we are authenticating all of the viewers. So we know who's watched the videos, how long they've watched them for, and I'll show you an example of that here with my classroom example here. So I'm doing a spreadsheet project this week, and we have, looks like this one has the most views. This is I have them numbered because like the first video they watch, and then the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So for example, I'll just pick the third video here. And what's really cool about this is I made this on my desktop computer, and the software that you download is free for all of us here during this trial beta period to use. And so if I hit play, you'll see the first couple seconds. I'll let it play. And our next step now is to create row 2, some information across there. So what I want you to do is start with our example. So the kids have to watch these videos to know basically what to do. This is the direct instruction. But here's the really cool part. If you go to analytics, now I can see, it'll take a while to load up because there's over 200 students that have been in here already. It will show you all the students that have watched it, and then the percentage of watching it too. So let me filter it down by maybe a partial list. Here come all the names now. And they give you a nice global view too of all the people that started it. Only half of them finished it. And I'm telling the kids that you have to watch the whole thing. Don't just jump out, midway through and go for the task. So if I filter down by partial, these are the students now that have partially watched it. And if they jump forwards and if they fast forward, it doesn't count it as being watched either. So it truly is, moments, minutes of consumption when they're watching a video. I can filter, and I've shown the students this too, so they know that I'm able to go in and check. So these are all the students that have watched it to completion or nearly completion. And then another nice thing here is, see the dot right there in the timeline? If I go and hit play right before that, watch what will happen here. And by hitting enter, look at that, I never typed 144. It went in there automatically for me. That's the real magic behind the spreadsheet. So now it paused on the timeline, and it has the kid take a quiz, and they have to answer the question. So in this case, it is true. Submit answer. And then they can view it right on the spot to see if they got it right or wrong. So that the advantage of that, I think, is I'm imagining kids are at home and they're watching a video for a flipped class kind of scenario. They could hit play, go away, make a sandwich, and come back, and it looks like it finished to 100%. But if they aren't answering the questions as you go, that's kind of a built-in checks and balances to make sure that they're actually understanding it. And this could be an open-ended question. It could be, what did you not understand about that last piece or something? And they could type in a response too. So it gives the teacher feedback. Is that the formulas, they don't all have to be questions that are either right or wrong. It could be open-ended too. So if I go to quizzing, I can view the results of that. And it'll show me, it opens up in a new tab here because it goes to a different area of the site. And it shows me an overall results by question. So what this is showing you is, let's see, the blue is correct. So here they got question 1 mostly correct. But interestingly enough, they didn't watch the full video, but they were still able to get it correct. So that might be kind of an interesting way to see if they're able to guess and get them right or not, if need be. You can filter then down by viewer and see the individual people and when they did it and their score on the quiz. I happen to just put in 2 questions on this little quiz, but you can put in as many as you want. And then the percents are there too. And then the 2 questions that I used there. And you can rearrange the order of them too. So questions are not required. That's just optional. You can build them in if you want on the timeline. And it's done simply enough. Yeah, here's how you do it. So let's say I'm going to pick a different video. One that does not have any questions in it yet. And videos. So everything you make is automatically stored here in the cloud. So it's kind of like Google Docs, if you will. It's not stored on your computer at all. So I'll go to the sharing one here, and I'll go maybe about 3/4 of the way through. If we go to quizzing, and then it says you currently don't have a quiz, so go to add questions. Pulls it up in a new tab, and then we can hit play. Okay, so now you see I have 10 different room sizes on here, and look at you are now ready to officially get some credit for doing this part of the project. All right, I'm going to pause it right there. So right at that moment in time, I'm going to add a new question, and I could say, you got your question types, depending on which one you want to do. I'll do a multiple choice, and I'll say, how many room sizes should you create? And then I'll put in a couple of choices. I'll say 2, 5, 10, and 20. Now the answer happens to be 10, so I'll check it so it grades it automatically. And then that's it. Then you just move on to adding another question after that if you wanted to. So, I'm going to move me out of the way here. We have share, and it'll give us a link to that video.
So you don't have to save that.
I don't think you do, no, because I think it actually saves it in the original link that we had for that video, which I believe is this also. So this is the link to it. And now it's important to note, not anyone in the world can get to this because it's tied to our domain. So you have to be a domain user, so only our students can get to it. That's why they have to log in with a Amherst School's Gmail account as opposed to just a personal, plain old Gmail account. So that's how you do that. I'll go ahead and close that, and we're back to here now. So, let's see what else did I want to show. Oh, the group features then. All right, so if you wanted to get this now to your students, of course, you could just give them that link somehow, whether it be Edmodo, Google Doc, email, whatever. But I like to make those Google Doc lists that show. I don't know if I showed you that or not. Let me get to that. Get to my Google Drive. Because there's many ways the kids can get to your videos. I'm just happen to continue to use the process I've always been using. But you've got lots of options here. So we're doing the Ultimate Bedroom Project. We're doing the room sizes spreadsheet. So as long as I get them this Google Doc, within these little play buttons, these link to, as you'll see, it links to the video there. So they just leave this up all period long, and they can progress through each individual video that way. But the sharing things are pretty cool because you go share to group, and I can create a group. And I can call this one period 2A. And so now I can add just the students that I want to period 2A. Let's see, so where do I do that? I do that here under groups. Good morning, Bruce. When you log in, you have basically two areas. Videos is where they all are stored, and then groups. So groups here, here's my period 2A group. You click on that, and then I can invite people into that group, or I can specify. So let's see, invite. I can give the students this link, and that will bring them into the group. Or I could just put in Johnny Smith 19 at students.amherstschools.org. So you can invite them directly if you wanted to that way too. And then the beauty of being in a group is when future videos are made by whoever, teacher or student, you can share it to that group, and then you get an email that says, you know, a new video has been shared, click here to watch kind of thing. And so once you set up the group, you can just keep reusing it over and over again. And the way we have it set up now is all users, whether they're teachers or students, have the ability to create groups and invite people to groups. That could be changed if we wanted to make it where like only administrators or only teachers were allowed to do that. But right now, just at the experimental kind of pilot phase, we want to see what that would be like, because a kid could create a screencast of something for their class project and then decide to make a group and share it out to kids in that class period or something. So we're experimenting with that. We'll adjust that as it goes, but that's the idea behind the videos and the groups. And then you click on that icon and just get back to the main page, which looks like that. So now as far as making a video, let's try doing that here. I think it should. I'm using Camtasia to record, so I'm going to record while I'm recording, so we'll see if this works. When you're on your Videos tab, here's Download Recorder. So whether you're on a Mac or a PC or a mobile device, it should suggest the right one. So since I'm on a Mac, it suggests that. You click on that, download the software, and install it. When I did it on my Windows machine, it worked there. It just said Windows download. I installed it.
They just bring in a video from your iPad also?
Yes. To do that, you would use the other side here. Use Fuse on your iOS device, any of them, iPad, iPod Touch, iPhone, or Android devices as well. And the way that works is you can just shoot video right within the app of real-world footage, or you can take, like I use Explain Everything, the app, to do screencasting stuff, and that saves on the camera roll. So now you can upload any video or photo from your camera roll through Fuse and get it into here as well. So it's the way of transferring your video footage over. I was going to do that, but I don't have Explain Everything installed in that iPad right now. So I installed it already, and here's what it looks like down here. So you launch Relay. The very first time you do it, it's going to ask you for your credentials so that you can connect to your server, and that will just be putting in your, I forgot how it was because I wasn't logged in. Let's see if I'll log out so I can see what that login process looks like. Alright, so I am logged out. So this is what it'll look like for you when you first install it. You'll go here to log in. In fact, I think it'll prompt you to log in when you first launch it anyways. And then remember, we're always using this option here to sign in with our existing Google accounts. And as long as you do your appropriate one from school at amherstschools.org, and then password, what is it now? I think that's it. Let's see. And once it signs in, it'll stay signed in. You'll see the little status icon there is good to go. And of course, it shows that it's signed in there. Now it has an auto adjustment for the microphone built in. And if you click on audio, you will see if you have more than one microphone choice. In this laptop, I've got a couple, but it picked the right one. It's my built-in mic. And then, okay. And if this is green, it automatically is going to adjust that level. So if I was really far away, it would bump it up automatically, which is kind of nice. But if for whatever reason you want to manually do it, you can make that unchecked, and then you can adjust your volume that way. You can give it a title before or after you record, so I'll just title it now, and I'll call it Demo Friday Morning, and description is optional. If you have more than one display hooked up, I don't, so that won't matter. If I have a camera built in, I could record with that, and then a hotkey I made it so I could do keyboard shortcuts to start and stop recording. But basically, you just hit the big red record button, counts down, just like Camtasia or Snagit or Jing would do, and now we're recording, so the little timer's going there. So when I flip over here, now I can demonstrate something. The demonstration I was going to give was how to do Google Calendar. And in fact, it's okay that I'm talking like this right now because we're going to trim it. You can, after you record it, you can trim from the in and the out points to narrow it down. So let's say I'm ready to record now. This is what I typically do. I'll go, all right, 3, 2. Hi everybody, it's Rob Z, and today we're going to show you how to use the Amherst Calendar to reserve the iPads. This would be for the career and life skills teachers and the tech teachers because we all share a pod of iPods. So what you'll do is once you already have the calendar from an invite that I sent to you, I have mine right here, I can hit the little drop down and say create an event on this calendar. Now let's say the day we come back from break, which is the 24th, that day, for the whole day, I want to reserve the iPads. So I'll say iPads, let's say it's numbers 16s and 17, and you just want 2 of them in there. Because I think that's what we'll do is put the numbers in there so we know which ones to reserve. And then I don't have to put much else than that because everyone's going to know that I put this calendar entry in there. So it's just a matter of hitting save. And then on the calendar, there it is for me and everybody else that's on the shared calendar. They're going to see that there. And so if they click on it, they'll see it was created by me, and I'm asking to reserve those 2 for that day. So now that everybody sees that same information, nobody else is going to try to reserve the same ones on the same day. So that's the process of putting in your calendar entries. If you have any questions at all, shoot me an email, and I'd be glad to help. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Alright, so now we're going to end it. So we got to get back to here, and then I'll say stop. And since I have extraneous stuff in there, we're going to have to Snagit or Jing would do. Yeah, we're going to trim it. So turn trim on, I can find, when's that spot where I started? Right here. I can calendar from an invite that I sent to wherever that might be to reserve the option to, I guess if I can't stay there. I'm going to this right now because look at it. You can after in and the out points stay narrowed down. Alright, let's say right there's a start point. You hit that button and it shows that that's going to be chopped off. And then at the end, I finish talking around here somewhere. We're going to end it, so back to here. Alright, so I'll end it right about there. Trim it out, so now only that part's going to be included. And it's just a matter of hitting submit, and all the magic takes place now without you having to know anything about file formats or locations or anything. It submits it, so you obviously have to be on a computer that is connected to the internet, which is not a problem if you're just using our school desktop computers. It will submit it, and upon finishing, it will then give you a link, which then, here's the link. You can provide that to somebody through email or whatever the case is. If we go to view now, it'll go to that web page, but as you'll see, it's still processing, so there'll be like a little temporary icon there, but it doesn't hold you back from copying that link and putting it wherever it needs to be. Probably in about 5 to 10 minutes or so, it'll be ready. It just depends on how fast your internet connection is and how busy their TechSmith servers are too. And you can then, now would be a good time to share to all, or share to a certain group, or whatever the case is. Also, they have settings on here, just like how Google Docs has. I kind of like how they did this. The default setting for all videos is anyone from your organization can see it. So if you logged in with your account and you looked at, I think it works this way, you would see that automatically in there. But then you could narrow it down to only people with the link can see it, or in the groups that it was specifically shared with, or private would be only me so that nobody else can see it until I'm ready to do something with it. And then if you need to change, I guess I have to pick one first. Alright, so once you pick that, then you can change the names of it back under your collection area. There it is there. And you'll be able to see at a glance everybody that watched. And then a nice thing too is every night around like 8 p.m. or so, they send you a summary email of like all the data you would want to know, like how many people watched it today, if there were quiz questions, how many are right, all that kind of data that if you're curious to see it, you can. Otherwise, you just delete the email. But the last couple of nights, it's been good. I've been able to see that, which helps me to see like where in the 6 video process most of them are. And most of them now are almost done because this is, I have 170 kids, so we're almost to the point where they've all reached number 6. So I know I've taught them information on how to turn stuff in. And so that is that. So any questions or anything that you're wondering?
Explain everything.
Yeah. Explain Everything is it's not a free app. It's I think $2.99, and that's a good one for making with your finger screencasts where you can draw math equations, take pictures of things, annotate on top of them, and then Explain Everything is good because it lets you export to your camera roll. The other ones don't. The ones I like using are usually ScreenChomp, which is made by TechSmith, and also EduCreations. Those are my 2 favorite ones that are free. But those host on their own hosting service, and they don't let you export to your camera roll. But I'm going to ask the crew, because I'm going to send this video to them too at TechSmith, if they can modify their ScreenChomp app to export to TechSmith Relay, or at least to the camera roll so that I can put it there. Because I think that would be a great way to use the iPad as a way to create screencasts, because some teachers are going to want to do that so they can write with their fingers or a stylus and take pictures of stuff. Because not everything works the best when you're using the keyboard and the mouse and you're doing screen-related stuff. So that is possible that way. I think that's pretty much it. If I do my logout here, you'll see then just that the important thing I think we're going to tell the teachers is when you go to mherschools.techsmithrelay.com and you're logging in, make sure you're not creating a new account, because I've had students try to do that and then using their own personal email accounts, and then it doesn't work. So like ignore this side of the screen and always use this one. Yeah, so sign in with the Google account. And that's pretty much it. So unless you have any questions, I'll stop the, all right, so we can, yeah, we'll share out this recording then, which would be Camtasia, and stop